Welcome to our channel about cars, their legends, and the stories they carry with them. The most important trucks and technological advancements for them from Chevy's rich past and present. Chevrolet has been building trucks since 1918. With more than a century of knowledge, craftsmanship, and innovation under the company's belt, the legend of Chevy trucks is a tough one to tell. Once the most basic form of transportation, driven by farmers and tradespeople, the pickup truck has become synonymous with the American lifestyle. The best-selling vehicle for nearly half a century has been a truck, and sales of pickups of all shapes and sizes show no signs of slowing down. Today, Chevrolet sells more than 1 million trucks each year, from its base Colorado to the hard-working Silverado HD. Follow along as we look back at the old Chevy trucks of the company's formative years and some of the most important pickup models and advancements from day zero to the present. What was the first Chevy truck? 1918 Model T. There had to be a first in Chevy truck history, and for Chevrolet it was the 1918 Model T for truck, duh. The half-ton delivered a 224 cubic inch 3.7-liter inline-4 of 36 HP and considerable off-idle torque. Its rolling chassis and frame allowed the customer install their own cab and bed or van body. A Model T 1-ton truck model was also available. Ford's truck of the time was a Model TT. The Chevy bow tie badge was dark blue and was more a work of art than anything else on the truck. What is the 1929 Chevy delivery Stovebolt truck? The Chevrolet International Series AC light delivery truck introduced the inline-6 to trucking with the 194 cubic inch 3.2-liter engine with cast iron pistons rated at about 46 HP and 125 lb-ft of torque. Because its fasteners looked like wood stove fixtures, the old Chevy truck got the nickname Stovebolt. The International Series was also the first pickup with an enclosed cab, and the first where color joined the discussion. Record fuel economy 1937 Chevy half-ton truck. Sporting streamlined styling that was thought to have been influenced by high-speed locomotives, the 37 Chevy half-ton was the first truck styled by the art color department, led by the legendary General Motors design chief Harley Earl. Featuring sturdier bodywork and a new generation of inline-6 engines generating some 78 HP and 170 lb-ft of torque. A 1937 Chevy truck made history during a long-distance trip monitored by ASHA, during which it recorded nearly 21 mpg. Some 80 years later, Motor Trend editors still rarely see 21 mpg while road tripping in today's gasoline-powered pickups. Heavy-duty option 1947 to 1954 Chevy Advanced Design. Readily identified by the 5-bar grille and headlamps in the fenders, the 1947 Chevy truck also had a cabin wide enough for 3 people, plus a radio and heater defroster to keep them more comfortable. The half-ton 3100 series, 3/4-ton 3600 or 1-ton 3800 all came equipped with the same 216 cubic inch 3.5-liter Thriftmaster inline-6 good for 90 HP and 174 lb-ft. The last model year, 1954, received significant updates with new parking lights, a new grille, a one-piece windshield, a new steering wheel, and Chevy's bigger 235 cubic inch 3.9-liter 6 112 HP 200 lb-ft under the hood. The first Chevy small block V8 powered truck 1955 Cameo Carrier. In retrospect, little compares to the longevity of the GM small block V8 introduced for the 1955 model year. Although it was a year behind Ford's new V8, the small block Chevy had a longer run and helped the brand top the sales charts. The Task Force Generation Chevy Cameo truck, which was available with the new V8, also got a wraparound windshield even before cars, an egg crate grille, new headlight nacelles, concealed running boards, and the first fleet-side design. It came with a 123 HP, 207 lb-ft, 235 cubic inch 6 as the standard engine and was available with one option 2-tone ivory and red paint. Half-car, half-truck 1959 to 1987 Chevy El Camino. Inspired by the Task Force line that preceded it and built on the full-size Chevrolet sedan platform, the original Chevy El Camino had the biggest fins ever fitted to a pickup. The first generation ran only 2 years before a 3-year hiatus, after which it returned to the Chevy lineup, but this time based on the mid-size Chevelle platform. The El Camino wasn't retired by Chevy until 1987 and by then had become something of a legend. Our preference would be a 1970 El Camino SS equipped with the ferocious LS6, and despite our frequent pleas, GM never brought the ideal replacement, the Holden Ute, here before it stopped building cars in Australia. 1967 CK Series Chevy truck. Metallic paint. You might not think of that as an advancement, but it wasn't until the next century that Honda brought out the Element XP for paint that had more paint than plastic. Officially the action line and unofficially the glamour line, especially in Cheyenne trim, the CK Series Chevy trucks brought a simple yet sleek design, coil-sprung suspension all around for 10 and most 20 series models, and a wider variety of engines. This generation also led to the 1970 K5 Blazer on a shortened 104-inch wheelbase, and we all know that worked out well. The original mini-truck 1972 Chevy Lou. The 72 Chevy Lou was a rebadged Isuzu Faster brought to the U.S. as a cab and chassis to avoid steep tariffs. It competed with Toyota and Datsun pickups, similar in scope to Ford's Courier, a Mazda B Series, and Plymouth's Aero pickup, a Mitsubishi Forte. The Lou light utility vehicle was initially gasoline-powered with a 75 HP 1.8-liter, also found in the Chevy Chevette and Opel Kadett. By 1977, you could get a mini motorhome built on the Lou cab and chassis, with a slight bump in power to 80 HP. It was later offered with a diesel engine, independent front suspension, 4WD, and a stepside bed. The Lou lasted until the S10 debuted for the 1982 model year. Chevy's first crew cab, 1973 to 1983 square body pickup. The third-generation Chevy CK Series square body trucks, which GM dubbed rounded line because of the daylight openings, rear lights, and body corners, wore the longest-running bodywork in Chevrolet truck history. The first Chevy pickups with a passenger side mirror as standard equipment, the square bodies were launched on TV and offered the first crew cab on a 164.5-inch wheelbase dual rear-wheel pickup Big Dually. The venerable 454 saw its first pickup use outside the El Camino, and there were a handful of 1976 777 Blazer Chalets in GMC Jimmy Casa Grande, built with an integral pop-up camper built by Chinook in Washington. Chevy's first independent front suspension IF's 1988 to 1998 CK Series. Although many before it were said to be styled by aerodynamics, this is the first Chevy pickup that really looked like it. It was also the first IF's 4WD full-size Chevy pickup, and the first full-size pickup from any manufacturer with a third door for the extended cab model. The dash and switchgear were unlike any pickup that came before, and much of it gave us fits, especially the disc gas gauge. It also marked the end of the universal pickup with non-standard frame rails and headlights, and if your company made roll pans or lowering kits, the CK Series truck might have made you wealthy. The legend 1990 Chevy 454 SS. 1 year after the Dodge Shelby Dakota, but a year before the GMC Cyclone and 3 years ahead of the Ford Lightning, Chevy applied the early muscle car approach of putting a big engine in a small package with the 1990 Chevrolet 454 SS. Into a regular cab short bed went a 230 HP, 385 lb-ft big block, ATH400 transmission, engine oil and ATF coolers, a fatter front anti-roll bar, Bilstein shocks, quicker steering, 275/65 R15 tires, big decals, unique seats, and a center console. It wasn't easy to launch 0 to 60 times, were a shade less than 8 seconds, but was one of the fastest street legal rides you could buy at the time, especially for less than $19,000. The following year, the 454 SS got a bump in power to 255 HP 405 lb-ft with dual exhausts, a 4-speed automatic, and a 4.10:1 axle ratio, making it a touch quicker. The first ZR2 1994 Chevy S10 ZR2. Chevy's first real attempt at an off-road biased compact pickup, the ZR2 offered more width and ground clearance compared to the regular S10. The ZR2 package was nearly 4 inches wider and 3 inches taller than the base S10, and it came with larger axles and bearings, Bilstein dampers, skid plates, a panhard rod for the leaf-sprung rear like the Wranglers of the day, and 31-inch tires. In testing, it readily climbed sand dunes, though the temperature gauge climbed equally as fast.